Law enforcement had a hard time building a case against Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols. Now, people feared him, and he had a solid team of men that was willing to do anything for him until someone began to flip. He was caught red-handed, and Fat Cat was arrested, leaving behind his $1 million a week organization. Now, behind bars, he wanted to make sure everyone knew he was still running things. He structured his organization like La Cosa Nostra. The jail cell became the office, and he continued to run his organization. On the street, he was easygoing. Behind bars, he was hard to deal with. I never did jail time, but I kind of have an understanding. You go from eating at a 5-star restaurant, waking up to the baddest women, taking trips, doing what you want to do, to sitting in the jail cell, being around men all day, with someone telling you what to eat, when to lock it in, just like an animal. Now, with the type of acts he would commit while being behind bars, I'm pretty sure his workers missed the type of leader he was on the streets. One of his workers wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. He was told to bid $50,000 on a 1987 Hagler and Sugar Ray fight. Now, Sugar Ray was the underdog, and it was his comeback fight. Nobody thought he was going to win, so if he did, the payout would be crazy. Now, all my bettors know exactly what I'm talking about. Shout out to all my, FanDuel people, all the sports bettors that be putting those parlays out. If you got some picks, hit me up. Anyway, after finding out that Hitchman didn't do what the boss ordered by placing a bet, he had to pay. His men surrounded the man in the basement, waiting for a jail call from the boss. They all sat and waited patiently. He calls and tells him to shoot himself while on the phone. Now, it was either shoot yourself or be shot. Now, Fat Cat wanted to hear the gunshot and screams over the phone. He was satisfied. A bit harsh of a punishment, but it was a message to keep his men in line, to make sure his men respect his orders, while being behind bars, proving that he could still get you touched. But he became very arrogant. I mean, he's in jail, so what's there to lose? Now, from the jail phone, Fat Cat ordered his men to seriously injure his parole officer. Now, that's when he went insane. Come on now, you hold a grudge against someone that's doing their job. You're the one that lost the game of cops and robbers. You got beat, you don't hurt the innocent. The government will make an example out of you. Even the boss needs wise men around him. You can't run an organization full of yes men. But on the second note, the B-Bulls weren't yes men. They were just that trigger happy to do what the boss say. The contract was signed, and one of his men named Perry Bellamy would reach out to the parole officer, stating that he had some information on Lorenzo Fat Cat Nichols. The parole officer agrees to meet with him at 7. The parole officer will pull up in his Dodge Dart to be flagged down by Perry on foot. He will let Perry inside the car. Shortly after, a shot will be fired, followed by 2 more shots seconds later by a second gunman, leaving a parole officer slumped in the car. One of the shooters was his alleged enforcer, Pappy Mason. Perry Bellamy, the one that lured the PO, would eventually be arrested, and he will make a 40-minute confession tape name-dropping Fat Cat, Pappy Mason, and the other shooter. Fat Cat is now sent behind bars fighting a homie. Now, that's gotta be the worst thing you can do, is pick up another case while already behind bars, just like those Aryan Brotherhood fellas. It would come in with 5 years, it would turn that 5 into 10, it would turn that 10 into 20 years, that 20 years into life. That's just how they roll. But anyway, they couldn't get to Perry Bellamy, which was the star witness. He was in PC on Rikers Island, so they got to his father instead, which is sad. The poor man was working his shift at a laundromat, and he was hit. Now that made Perry Bellamy take back his statement, and Fat Cat ended up beating that case, but he still had a couple more cases to fight. Now, Fat Cat had his family and friends tied into the organization, including his sister and girlfriends. He always thought a female would break before a man would when it came to law enforcement. The mother of Fat Cat's child was arrested in New Jersey. Now, she wrote him a threatening letter stating what goes around comes around. He wasn't taking any chances at all, so guess what he did? Yup, he sent a hit. While driving through the 40 projects, she noticed a black Volvo following her car. Now, she would eventually be cornered, and 2 men exited the vehicle, removing Fat Cat's 1-year-old son from the vehicle, open firing and leaving the baby on the sidewalk. Now, that tells you right there that this man had no picks. Taking a mother away from her child, it doesn't even get more selfish than that. Like, he's already locked away, life damn near over, and you leave a child without both parents, not even thinking about the child's future. But Fat Cat ended up being sentenced 25 to life for the weapons and drug charges in 1988, on top of another life sentence for Perry Bellamy hit. Now, he obviously didn't see jail in his future, so he did what he had to do by ordering hits left and right. He was moving like the cartel. But, he didn't really care about the innocents, and he made sure Queens had his throne nice and warm for him. He was most feared while being behind bars. And without his reckless decisions to keep it 100, if he would have just took the drugs and weapons charge on the chin without sending any hits, he would have been home early 2000s. So there you have it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more content, and hit the comments. Don't forget to turn the channel notifications on so you don't miss out, because we're covering Pappy Mason next. All viewers, stay safe out there. Thanks for watching.